All right. Well, hello, everyone. As you know, my name's Chris with Walker's Realty. I have a special guest on today, Kaitlin Shala from Guaranteed Rate Mortgage. How you doing, Kaitlin?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me, Chris. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks. So I wanted to bring in the expert with mortgages, mortgage rates, all of that, because I do talk on a daily basis with both buyers and sellers, and I give them my insight. But I wanted you to get it directly from the expert, because I know if you turn on any news station or whatever you read, there's all kinds of stuff about the housing market, and how crazy it is now and all that's going on. A lot of what you hear is, inventory is low and interest rates are going up or going to continue to go up or might go down and all of this. So we wanted to kind of knock out all of these concerns, because what I've been noticing is, yeah, inventory definitely is low. There's not many houses for sale, which initially caused housing prices to go up. But now the counterpart of that is that the inventory on buyers, meaning the amount of buyers are low too, because a lot of them have just pulled out, stopped looking around, got frustrated with the interest rates, and decided to take a break for a while. But what I wanted to bring up here before we get Caitlin's opinion on everything is something I've been showing a lot of the buyers that I'm working with, because if they're part of, if you're in my age bracket, I'm one of the spoiled ones that are used to the 2%, well, not two, 2.5, 3.5 era, if you will. But if you look at let me share my screen. Can you see that, Caitlin?
Yes, yeah,
All
we
right.
can.
So if you look at this chart, it's a graph of the history of the 30-year mortgage rates. So starting in 71, which when I wasn't even a thought yet, all the way to 2023. So if you look all the way on the right, this is kind of roughly where we're at now. And Caitlin will give you some more uh, definite numbers here. But if you look and compare it, we're like right at average, or maybe even still below average of the last 30 years of mortgage rates. And when my parents bought a house, they were right around in that area, 10 to 12%. So you talk to anyone, their age, they were calling the times when it was numbers like that versus now when we're kind of spoiled at, the 3% where we were. But anyway, I thought I'd kind of show that because it puts it into perspective. But let me talk to you a little bit, Caitlin, and see. Well, first, where are the current rates? Because it changes on a daily basis. Um,
Yes, right now the rates are trending in the mid sixes. Unfortunately, most of the predictions that rates would be in the mid fives by now hasn't occurred.
yeah.
But with inflation slowing down, we should see rates coming down hopefully very soon, within the year. But so right now, around the mid sixes is what we're going to find.
Okay, and I guess it's a guessing game where they're going to go, if they'll go up or down or what, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, my crystal ball doesn't exist where it's telling me where the rates are going to be in the future. But we do, do all this research. We do look at economic data, and based off of that economic data, we do believe that they will trend down eventually. When inflation is under control and comes back down, so will the mortgage rates.
And I think at that point, there is going to be a spike in the housing market, and there will be plenty of houses to go around. So, the other side of things is this might be a time to get in. If you are looking for a house, don't be afraid to get out there now before, you have a ton more competition. As soon as those rates drop, I think, I don't know, let's just use a number to 5%, there's going to be a big
Mhm.
spike in the market.
Right. And, it's definitely not something that should be holding you back right now, especially because we can read it is once we lock your loan, you close, in your mid six rate right now. Once they do drop down, once everything is under control and they do level out, we can refinance you, no problem. So you're ready to have your dream home. You're not in that crazy competition, and then you can still get,
Yeah,
the rate once they've leveled out. So don't let it hold you back from getting that dream home.
yeah. The simple way I put it is they say like marry the house and date the rate, and it's
Yeah.
absolutely true. It's especially
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially if you have a good lender that keeps up with things and
Yep.
lets you know on a regular basis where the rates are at and if refining would, when that would make sense for you, because everyone's
Yeah.
different.
Absolutely. I always tell my clients, I'm like, you can't get rid of me just because you've closed. Unfortunately, we're not done.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully that sheds some light on the concerns that I'm hearing. And then the other one that people kind of call me about is they think that they're not going to qualify. There's nothing they can do with poor credit. They've gotten into a situation, whether it be just being young and careless, or a divorce, or well, there's tons of things that can mess up your credit. And I know there's credit repair companies and things like that, but what do you guys suggest with that? Do you have anything to offer to help them?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely would suggest that having a conversation with the client, trying to figure out what they feel, kind of put them in that situation, maybe they were late or, just situations on their credit report. But we actually have a tool that's called the What If Simulator, where we can play with some different scenarios. And I review the credit report with the client as well, because sometimes there's mistakes that they don't even know are on there, that we're able to help clear up for them. We can review it with them. We review the situation with the client. We say, hey, this is a late. And they said, no, I wasn't late. They said they weren't
Yeah,
going to report it. We then go ahead, we do the what if simulator, and we say, well, if you get this, situation removed from your credit report, it'll jump up to this new score and it'll be instant. If it's not as easy as that, we can kind of play around with some different scenarios and see if they do X, Y, and Z,
mhm,
in 6 months, in 3 months, their credit score will jump up. But, with some of these first time home buyer programs, their credit score, doesn't need to be in the 700, 800. So that's
yeah.
always something that we review with them. We don't claim to be credit experts, but we definitely have tools to help them to make sure that they're on the right track if they're not where they need to be right now.
Sure, yeah. A lot of times, and I've done it for myself. Some simple little tweaks can
Hmm.
really push your credit score in up significantly.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. So
so
yeah, we
glad yeah,
definitely want to review.
yeah, absolutely. So anyone out there that's listening to this, get with Kaitlin and have her at least take a look at it and see what she can do. It's worth a
Yeah.
try. It's a fairly simple, it's a simple process. And
Hmm.
getting to processes, you know, the pre-approval process is the first step that I
Yes.
tell my buyers to that they have to do if they are looking for a home now or in the future.
Right.
They'll find out they're stealing, meaning the max they can afford, and then we can work anywhere under that. But
Hmm.
anytime you put an offer in on a home, you're going to need that pre-approval to prove to the seller that you're legit. So what I wanted to talk to you about is that process and how simple it can be. So people are not thinking, oh, it's going to be a 2 hour phone call and so on
Hmm.
and so forth and all of that. So if you want to touch on that to get them.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. And so at Guaranteed Rate, we have a very, very simple pre-approval process. We do have that initial phone call with people, and depending on the questions, depending on the scenario, I've never had a 2 hour initial phone call, honestly, but I always block off at least an hour. So if the client needs an hour, if the client needs 15 minutes, if they need 20 minutes, my whole attention is to them. The initial phone call is really to figure out what their needs are. Are they looking for a single family? Are they looking for an investment property? Are they a first time home buyer? I really try to understand their situation. What county are they looking to purchase in? Have they saved money for a down payment? What program are they looking for? Are they looking for down payment assistance? Really just getting to understand their needs. And then we have them fill out the online application. That can take about 15, 20 minutes. Then they'll get a link to our secure portal. They upload their pay stubs, their W-2s, their bank accounts, and then we put them right into underwriting. And what that does is that they have a stronger offer out there. And as we said, there is low inventory. It is kind of a tougher time right now.
Yeah.
But with the power bid approval, that takes away a lot of the stress, takes a lot of the what ifs or the unknowns out because the underwriter has already reviewed it. So it just really provides that strong offer for clients.
That sounds great. And guys, that's that personal attention that you need, and it's important with a lender because everyone's situation is different. And good luck finding that with a lot of the other lenders out there. Kaitlin and her team there at Guaranteed Rate have their stuff together. They really do,
Thank
and
you.
it's they make the process as easy as possible. So that's really helpful.
Yeah, I
So
mean, home buying can be stressful and we don't want it to be. Let's get all the paperwork done in the beginning
yeah,
and then
no,
we can enjoy the rest of it.
that's right. So I really appreciate the help and your expert insight. Again, guys, we're going to put the info at the bottom of your screen there. Kaitlin's contact info, her email, her number, everything. Reach out to her and get started. And you already know who to talk to if you want to buy a house
Yeah.
or sell a house. And so you have a dream team here, so to speak. So I like how this worked out. We're going to be doing more of these things, maybe on a monthly basis
Yeah.
or so. I think that would be a great idea. So we'll brainstorm on different topics and what not to do. But you guys watching out there, if you have any ideas, we'd much rather hear from you. Leave it in the comments there or email it or whatever, some topics you'd like to learn more about from the experts. Anyway, Kaitlin, thanks again. I really
No,
appreciate you.
thank you so much. This was wonderful.
All right, we'll talk soon.